Hey, I'm going to start a new company called Omnicron Construction.
There you go. You got the audio on all, both of them?
Oh, great. Bam! Booyah, you want to go up top?
A lot has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, dude.
Man, you got the whole crew out here.
Yeah.
Well, before we get started, I want
So, here's a lesson that I want to try to convey to everybody.
Well,
so,
hold on. You hear all that? Is it overbearing?
Well, we can wait till they stop blowing. They'll be done in a minute. Or we can go inside. But you got compressors going and everything.
I think it's going to be more...
Should we go up on top?
Yeah, let's go.
Or do you want to go inside?
Well, let's go all over.
All right. Que pasó? Looking good, man. So you remember when we had this ready to go, it was already kind of put together. Okay, here's a lesson I want to try to convey to anybody, whether you're seasoned in the business or not. Because I've done 150 flips. This is my personal house. And here's what happened, man. I hired a contractor, made sure they had, I got their insurance cert, checked their bond, everything was good. $300,000 lesson right here. I didn't make sure that I was added as additional insured to their insurance.
All right, so what does that mean? Break it down for me.
Okay, so they get an insurance policy to do a project or whatever, right? The contractor has insurance. I didn't get added on as the additional insured. So what happened was the contractor canceled his insurance after I signed the contract and he started the work. He did bad work.
Okay.
All of my truss started to fail. What they're doing right now is they're re-leveling the truss. I had to get a new structural engineer out here. This is 4 years ago. My property has been in litigation for 4 years. Finally come down to the point where I would have won in court maybe $700,000, $800,000 in mitigated losses, right? Like, the problem was because he canceled his insurance, the insurance company says, we're only going to cover the first 30 days of damages while he was insured.
Oh, wow.
My attorney was trying to prove that it was a domino effect. And once we got to arbitration, or mediation, actually we didn't go to an arbitrator, we went to mediate. The insurance company basically said, listen, here's the deal. Take us to court, you'll win, but then we're going to deny paying the funds and we're going to appeal it and we're going to hold it up for 5 or 6 years.
Oh, wow.
A couple $100,000, $300,000 not worth 5 years for me. I want to get my family in this house. I want to raise my kids in this house. I bought this house 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Well, what'd you pay for this house?
$480.
$480. What is it worth today?
1.4, 1.5, depending on what else I do to it.
How much will you be into this one for? You thinking?
You know, 300 and fixing it, so 780. I'm still doing owner builder permit, but I'm using all licensed subs. And I hired a structural engineer again to, like I said, to go through all the calcs and put in strong walls and fix everything that was wrong. What they're doing right now is they're straightening out all the truss and they're blocking everything. Okay. So the truss started swaying and bowing because they'd never blocked it and they were never set straight. So they were all off. Like, so these are scissor truss, by the way, right? Okay. So what happens is if you set the one and if it's a 1/4 inch off, right, the next one is going to be 3/8 off. And then the next one, so from one end to the other, it's 2 inches off. So at one point, the drywall was cracking because it was just hanging on the screw heads. Okay. So I could, if I cut a hole in there and I slid my hand up under one of the trusses, there was room. Like my hand is between the drywall and the truss, right?
Oh, wow.
So, you know, obviously the drywall is supposed to be screwed directly into the truss. Yeah. So it's flush. This was like hanging.
They'll be hanging a couple inches.
Yeah, so anytime the house moved, the tape line would crack. Another mistake the contractor did was he never staggered the drywall. I was out of town, I came back, it was already textured. So you're supposed to stagger it like bricks. Yeah. Half piece, full piece, half piece, full piece.
So let me ask you this. This is beyond my scope. If I was gonna hire a contractor to do something like this, I mean, because this is a pretty big project, what should I actually look out for?
Okay, so here's what I recommend.
Like, what would you do?
exactly what I didn't do before.
Well, we know that.
Hindsight's
What advice would you give me,
Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, I did everything right? So the first thing you want to do is you want to meet with all your contractors, right? And make sure that you're comfortable, look at some of their work, make sure everything's good. Then before you sign the contract, a real legit contractor will send you over a copy of their insurance certificate, and they'll send over a copy of their bond.
Okay.
Right? And then you just say, hey, listen, I'll feel a lot more comfortable. Why don't you call your insurance carrier and add me on as additional insured? This way you get notified if they cancel the insurance. I didn't do that. So what the contractor did was he took the job, showed me proof of insurance, canceled his insurance.
Yeah.
So what happens is, even if one of his guys got hurt in here, guess who they're coming after?
Yeah.
Guy's using a saw and he cuts off a finger.
So also, should you also add into the contract, if they do cancel the insurance, the contract is also terminated as well?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I mean, I'm not an attorney, but the problem is with that is so they cancel their insurance and it's terminated, and they walk off the job and they leave your roof like this. That gives the contractor an out, right? That gives the contractor an out, and all of a sudden now you're stuck with no work.
You want to know something? That's good that you mentioned that, because I noticed like some new home builds, like if you do a home inspection, the builder also wants the home inspector to be also on the license too as well, as far as the insurance.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like the same concept, which makes total sense.
You just got to make sure you're protected. I can tell you, man, there's so many hokey guys out there in this town especially. Oh, so here's my beautiful doors, XOX doors. Slide open.
Wow, you literally tore up this backyard, didn't you?
You don't like it?
I thought you were keeping the pool, man.
No, dude, I'm gonna use this for my skateboard pit. Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Bam! Be out here. Actually, you can't do it now because it's all chunked up, bro. But okay, so this is all gonna be replastered. I'm remodeling the pool. Hang on one second, guys. I'm so sorry. Cut. Hey, go ahead, Juan. Oh, what's going on?
That's how busy he is. I literally had to squeeze time into his schedule. I had no choice but to change my schedule to make it work for him, and he's still busy.
Thank God for Starbucks coffee. All right, man. So this pool, if you remember, was originally all mosaic, which I loved. But it was done 40 years ago, and the mosaic started to pop. I was going to demolish this pool and put it over here, right? On the far corner, it's easier to gate. Yeah. But it's not more like a resort style, right? So my kids, they're gonna grow up, and although it's safer to have it over there and gate it, right, completely, who's gonna walk all the way over there to use the pool when I got the bathroom and the shower going right here, and the outdoor kitchen's going there? So I said, you know what? Opposed to building a new pool for $140,000, or demoing this completely for $30,000, I'm gonna remodel this pool for probably about $35,000. Completely.
So is your contractor handling all this whole project, or you're part of the project?
I have a project manager that I manage.
Okay.
Does that make it easier? Like, there's a bunch of people involved, so I show up pretty every other day, see what's happening, check on the subs. The project manager does the same thing, but then I converse with the project manager as well. Okay. And if you're doing this on your own, there's a lot of good project managers out there that understand what they're doing, and it might be cheaper for you to pull an older owner-builder permit and hire a project manager to oversee everything so that there's nothing missed. You know, 4 eyes on a page are better than 2, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So this, bro, right here, so this is kind of just a temporary layout. This is going to be the Baja deck. Okay. Right? So where the umbrellas go and the lounge chairs go, and then we're going to cut all this rebar out, put new rebar, put in the shotcrete. So there's another step, there's another level in here. These steps are going to go away and all be this level, right? There's going to be one step, and then this is being brought up to this level. Wow, and then I'll slope it. Yeah, dude, this is 12 feet deep, bro.
This is a deep pool.
So, hey, so check this out. So my kid's mom was like, oh, why don't you just make a new pool and not make it so deep? And I go, do you know how expensive it is to go 12 feet in Vegas right now with caliche?
And you can put a diving board, right?
Yeah, I used to have a diving board.
Yeah.
So, but But do you know how expensive it is to dig? They charge you any foot over 5 feet, like $2,500 a dig. Echo.
Yeah.
I like that. Hey, that's pretty cool, dude. Anyway, once this is done, man, this pool's probably $150,000, $160,000 pool again.
What type of tile are you gonna do in here?
I'm probably not going to put back tile. I'm probably going to put like Pebble Tech in or something.
That's gonna look
nice. So I was talking about, my kid's mom was like, oh, why don't you just keep it 5 feet? You know, it's safer for the kids. I said, anything over 2.5 feet right now, they're going to drown.
Yeah.
So why would I fill in the pool?
Yeah, teach them how to swim.
Yeah, like what? They're in swim lessons, but you know, kids today are kind of lazy. Whoa. Nice. Yeah, we'll walk around. And then we can come back out if you want. But this was all built, bro, but it was built wrong. The plumbing was leaking underneath, again, by a licensed contractor.
So how'd you find out that was wrong after you guys dug it all up?
Well, it wasn't holding water.
It was just leaking?
Yeah, it kept draining, dude. So I found the pipes. It's pretty easy to find out. Sorry, another call. Hello, Richard Emmanuel speaking.
This motherfucker.
12
This guy
o'clock.
is
Okay?
extremely busy.
All right, give me a call when you have a chance. Sorry.
Hey, it's great content.
Yeah, crazy, right, dude?
I know.
So watch, you don't step on any nails, dude. Let's see. Here's another mistake the guy made. So how am I going to drywall up to that top tier
When
truck?
you got that thing right there, the cable.
Yeah, that's the trunk. That's the spinal cord of the house. That's all the Cat 5 and Cat 6 cable coming through. Crazy, right? So now I got to unroute that and then pull it up over that top.
And then drag it back to where it needs to go.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, bro. Crazy. Oh, another thing discovered. Because it was already buttoned up. I decided to go surfing down in Encinitas while they were doing this for a week. And I come back and he used old insulation from a commercial job.
Damn.
And charged me for new insulation, dude. So this was all on the lawsuit, man. I'm just telling you, there was a slew of things what this contractor did, right? And then the one contractor said, who actually held the license, said, oh, I didn't even know that we were working on this job.
Wait. Let's go back. You said you had one contractor. Then
so the guy that was here.
licensed.
So here's what happened. The construction company, okay, had like a foreman that was doing this job. All right.
Okay.
The owner of the construction company, when we decided to sue them, said, I didn't even know we were on this job. Oh my God, this guy just stole my license.
He played dumb.
Right. Meanwhile, all my checks are made out to CR Construction.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't want to say his name, but I'm just telling you, or maybe I can down the road. But so what this guy would do is he would go out and get jobs.
Yeah, and just piggyback on somebody's license.
Yeah, Andreas and Gabriel Riano were these guys that were doing that. Although they would make deals with the contractor, with the construction company, until somebody gets caught. And then you're like me, you're left in the middle going, whoa, I thought I was in contract with this construction company who had insurance, and here's the insurance cert. And you can't really go after, like me, Gabriel Riano, that guy, because he doesn't have anything. He's smart enough to manipulate the system so that he makes sure that nothing's in his name. Anytime he gets paid cash, this guy was going around and bidding jobs and telling people, hey, listen, I'll tell you what, I'll do the job for $100,000 less if you pay me cash. Give me a $75,000 advance. And people were doing it, and he would never show up on the job site.
So, how does the consumer actually be protected? Do they just go directly?
You gotta do what I did, man. You gotta check to make sure that the contractor's license is active through the contractor's board.
We don't want to piggyback on anybody else. We just want to go directly to the licensed contractor and make sure that there's no foreman or anything like that.
Yeah, no. Well, they're gonna have a foreman, but
Okay.
you gotta make sure you're talking to the owner of the company. Do you know what I mean? I thought this guy was the owner of the company.
Wow.
That's how he presented himself. his contracts were with his name and the construction company. I just assume it was that guy.
So what you guys can also do is go check out the Secretary of State, and you can find out exactly who the owner of the company is. So that's just a quick tip.
And you could go to the contractors board. You could just say, hey, listen, I'm about to start with this contractor, the company name, license number, are they active?
Well, didn't you go to the contractors board to see their ratings? Because doesn't all contractors have ratings?
I did not.
So that's a lesson learned too, as well. That you probably should do that as well.
Yeah, guys, I can tell you, it was an eye opener for me, man. Because
and Richard is very experienced because he has literally flipped over, I think, about 120, something like that.
Probably 150, bro. In 10 years, 15 years,
and he's actually the guy that actually mentored me during my first deal.
Oh my God.
I
I used to have hair.
was like, Rich, what do I do? What do I do?
It's all good, man. Anyway, look, all the electric's done. Everything's done. Everything already passed roughing. That's the problem. So this house was even inspected by the city.
So when the city also came out here and said everything was good too?
Yeah, they passed it because they didn't know that the trusses were all off and stuff, right? So we already passed all the rough-in, and now I got to kind of deconstruct to build forward to reconstruct to get to the finished product.
That makes
But
sense.
that's all. Listen, man. You live and you learn. But this could have broke a family.
Yeah.
This could have bankrupted a family if they weren't in the financial means that I've been blessed to have. Right.
Yeah.
Like I was able to carry the house for 5 years, not living in it, at $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you. So I'm just telling people, like, be careful. Make sure you do your homework. Because just because you hire a general contractor doesn't mean that you're in the safe zone.
Yeah.
Now you got to read between the lines. You got to make sure that they're insured, they're licensed, they're bonded. You got to get a copy of their insurance cert. And then every now and then you got to check to make sure with the contractors board that their license is still active. This is going to
dryer's going in here?
No, bro.
What's going here?
There's nothing there. So that's another mistake the contractor did. He put the stub for the gas line in between the wall. So the first thing the new plumber comes, he goes, dude, you can't do that. You'll blow up your whole house.
Oh,
I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, dude. So we go around on the outside. They moved it on the outside. Yeah. This contractor would have literally killed my entire family. Another thing they did, which I have no idea how they passed the final for plumbing, was they didn't penetrate the roof with the stacks.
Okay.
So
what is that?
Okay. So in the bathroom you have a trap.
Yeah.
So under the sink where the water runs the drain, there's a trap, right? Which water usually sits in it, and it stops the methane gas from coming up from the sewer line, right? Because it hits the water and then it goes back down. So they also stack that up through the roof in case the gas comes through that line. It goes up through the roof and out through the air. Well, he had the stacks penetrating not through the roof, but just leaking into my attic. So eventually my attic, which is sealed, would have filled with methane gas.
Yeah, and you would have been smelling all that. Yeah.
It could have imploded the whole house.
Yeah. License and bonding, okay? How much should they be bonded for?
At least to cover the job.
Okay.
If not more, right? So if you're doing $1 million job, like a contractor can't give you a $700,000 bid, or let's just say if they're licensed and bonded for $100,000, they can't give you on their license. It will say the bid capacity. Okay. What they could bid up to, right? So they're not gonna. Don't let somebody give you multiple bids on a job, so they stay under their bid limit. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So let's say that the job's $600,000, but their bid limit's $200,000. Don't let them give you 3 separate bids, like one for the plumbing, one for this, and one for that. Okay. Just get a contractor that's got the bid limit up to $1 million. So what the framers are doing, they're loosening all the truss, right? So they can move them. They're straightening them out. They're taking out all the blocking, straightening out the trusses so they're all level, laser level. And then they're going to put it back together with all the braces and the gussets.
Wow, you can literally see how off it is.
Yeah, it was
You
horrible.
see that line, Rudy?
I see it.
Yeah, it was horrible, man. Hey, what's up, Cliff? Speaking of project managers, there's the man, the myth, the legend, Cliff Rogers. His roof. I told you, doesn't he? I told you this guy shows up like he's freaky like that, man. He'll just show up out of nowhere. Boom. So Anyway, make a long story short, that's what they're doing. They're loosening everything up, and then they're going to straighten it all the way out, not just with a string line. They're going to run a laser.
Okay.
And even these guys, if they strung all of these, look, come here, you can see this one. See the way it goes this way and then like that? Mm-hmm. You see in the center?
Yeah.
You see the top cord? So you see this one plank, right?
Yeah.
Follow that plank where the other plank
It kind of
is.
weighs, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to straighten all that out with blocking. They put the blocking in between here.
So they're going to probably add it here, you're saying?
They're going to put blocking everywhere.
Okay.
Every 6 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they're going to shim and plane it, guys. So just so you guys know, I don't know if, you know, for the common person or the inexperienced, shimming and planing, very important if you're doing frame work.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that your framers also get a shim and plane. Shim is where they stack a piece of another wood on top. Planing is where they take wood away, right? To make it all flush, right? So if you don't have the framer shim and plane, the drywaller's job is not going to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to show up and go, hey, you should have the framer shim and plane it, because then your drywall's all going to be off. So you got to make sure that your framer, when you get something framed out, you're going to make sure that they shim and plane it as well in the contract.
Okay.
Oh, so remember we were talking about stacks?
Yeah.
That's a stack.
Okay.
That goes down into the sewer line for the bathroom. So anywhere where there's running water, you should have a stack that penetrates through the roof. They didn't have these, man.
Wow, that's crazy.
gotta die.
Hey, check this out, Rudy. Look at what he was showing us right here. Explain that again.
Okay, so follow that 2x6 by whatever that is. 2x6 right there, right? You see how it's sitting flush on this truss?
Yeah.
Okay, coming down here.
Look at this one right here. Watch the nails too.
Look at that.
Dude,
Crazy, right?
that's crazy.
Now come here. Over here, it's sitting flush again. Hey, this is insane, man. That's like 2.5 inches.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy, right?
That is crazy.
Insane.
Wow.
No wonder why my roof will look like this. No wonder why the roof looked like this.
That's crazy.
Or you're doing something that's like to this capacity. Make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's. I thought I knew everything, right? Like you think you know everything until you realize what you don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, duh. Dude, why didn't you get added on the insured?
Yeah.
You know, so just be careful, guys.
All right, so if you guys want more information like this and you find that this content is very valuable, let us know in the comments below. Other than that, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, peace.